How long can you maintain your peak state? Peak? My current strength is at most that of a novice martial saint, far from what I used to be. Under full exertion, I can probably maintain the martial saint state for about half an hour. However, if I could ingest a whole sacred lotus, I could return to peak martial saint status. If I could consume all 8 petals of the sacred lotus, I could even use soul break technique. By then, even if you control my soul's origin, I could still break free from your control. The main issue is that Pig, he can reach the Emperor's cultivation level with the help of Imperial Beast blood. If I were to defect later, he would definitely be a major threat. Peichi, you've turned back so quickly. But fortunately, the Imperial Beast's remaining blood is not much, probably just enough for a one-time use as a martial emperor. It's fortunate that the Imperial Beast is huge, so even a drop of its blood is significant. Be frugal, you will be our sect's ultimate trump card in the future. Stay calm. I still have absolute shadow, he can't catch up to me. Worst case, I'll avoid Peichi after recovery. Sect Leader, why don't you give me the pure heart sacred lotus first, so I can recover as soon as possible and contribute to the sect? Palace Master Shi, you should take this petal of the sacred lotus first, to see if it can cure your eye ailment. Sect Leader, I must take all 8 petals at once to cure the poison in my body, otherwise, I won't reach the peak martial saint state. That's the power that can dominate the entire Starfall continent. Oh, our sect already has a peak martial saint, and now we also have half an emperor. There's not such an urgent need for you as a peak martial saint, you just need to be useful. Moreover, Palace Master Shi's visit to northwestern Hizhou this time is for finding medicine to treat his eye ailment. Besides, Wei Lao at home also needs this medicine for treatment. Just wait a little longer, and there's still another sacred lotus root. With my luck, I'm sure I can refresh. Find out if there are any items that can quickly cultivate sacred lotus. I'll have to trouble you to wait a bit. My defection plan will have to be postponed for quite some time. Sect Leader, Senior Wujua's power is profound. He's definitely not someone who will stay under others for long. He will inevitably defect from the sect sooner or later, and that will be a big problem for us. Indeed, my defection plan is completely hopeless now. Lao Ge, hearing you say that makes me even less worried. In the future, newcomers must be like you, always pointing out the shortcomings of our sect. Praise the strength of our enemies. Senior Medical Sage, thank you for curing my disciple of the poison. It's nothing. In the future, you can also send some disciples here, whether for sightseeing or to learn my medical skills. I'll see if there are any more interesting encounters. Perhaps among your disciples, there's a genius who can inherit my poison technique. That's easy to say, but I don't know which of my disciples would be so fortunate. By the way, Senior, there's something I've been wanting to ask. The bone-devouring poison you were affected by, who did you give it to back then? The Xiao family? Given their wickedness, not to mention the fact that they possess your poison, shows they're not ordinary. I'm worried they might not be favorable to you in the future. Let me think. Back then, I gave the bone-devouring poison to the Murong family. Back then, the Murong family was a prestigious family, so I had to give them some face. I wonder if they're still around after thousands of years, and if they're doing well. Well, they're doing too well. The protagonist's fate of the bone-devouring poison is all thanks to them. So it was all orchestrated by them from beginning to end. If your disciple's enemy is a noble family, I suggest you handle it discreetly. Noble families have stood for millennia on the Starfall continent, and they have countless means. Even an emperor wouldn't want to provoke them without cause. If possible, I also wouldn't want to antagonize them. But the tree desires calm, but the wind will not cease. In this war against the Bone Devourer, I will definitely stand by his side. Brothers, have you heard? That good-for-nothing from the Xiao family has recently begun to rise to prominence again. Oh? That lowly person, wasn't he already afflicted with your bone-devouring poison? How can he make a comeback? I remember the poison technique of the 100-faced medical sages was quite good. My old man even praised him. Indeed, when I ordered someone to poison him back then, my father found out. But it's understandable, the symptoms of his lost spiritual roots were too obvious. My father was so concerned about the bone-devouring poison for a long time, and he even scolded me. But this waste actually recovered. And he even said he's going to challenge the Lily Holy Sect. To regain his dignity? To reclaim dignity from our noble family? Just because of him, a lowly person, I, Murong Shaolin, cannot tolerate such trash prancing around in front of me. I will make sure he regrets it. But the all-time ancient sect is indeed a bit odd, and I need you guys to lend a hand. Don't forget, my cousin, Murong Xian, is likely to be the next head of the Murong family. You wouldn't want her to marry a non-noble commoner, right? I have some weapons from Master Fan, and they are not closely monitored by our family's old man. A few guests from our family are eager to please me, so they can be of use. I've looked into the All Time Sect before. The sect leader is proficient in both sword and martial arts, and the speed of the sect's growth is astonishing. However, during the battle with the Ice Emperor Alliance, our family's martial saint observed that after the war, the sect leader aura rapidly weakened, so it's very likely that he was hastily promoted to martial saint in a short time, or he was severely injured by the Ice Emperor Alliance. Therefore, if we want to get rid of them, it's best to do it early. The longer we delay, the more effort it might take, so let's spread the news of their upcoming challenge to the Lily Holy Sect in advance. At the moment when they are unprepared and their wings are not fully grown, let's force them to come and die early. Then we'll harass them along the way, making them tired of dealing with it. Haha, imagining their pathetic appearance when they arrive at the Lily Holy Sect is quite amusing. This concerns the reputation of our noble family in the eastern Haizhou region. Shaolin, we can't tolerate your petty behavior. We need to find out the details of the All Time Sect, ensuring nothing is overlooked, and aiming for a decisive blow. We must let the commoners know that angering the noble families means death. The battlefield should remain at the Lily Holy Sect, to make it clear to the world. When the time comes, our Yujian sect will go to assist. Everyone, get ready. Cut the arrogance before becoming my brother-in-law. But if the Murong family and the Ling family reconcile with them, it will be a major event for the noble families. Wunu, young master, I'm here. Spread the news of the challenge to the All Time Sect, and also, send some elite warriors to give a little shock to the trash of the All Time Sect.